Welcome to Founders Raw.
Thank you.
So, yeah, what I think it would be great is just to chat a little bit about kind of how we came to this point,
Right.
and why this idea really actually, came to be. I remember when was this?
I think it was probably about 2 months ago, wasn't it? And we were at the W Hotel, and we were just talking about some of like the cool stories that we were sharing that we had heard about, and we kind of both at the same time said, why don't we have some sort of video series about this and get their story out. So, and then you kind of had some more of the details.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, when I explain this to other people, I love talking about how, I just start having like crazy cool conversations.
oh yeah,
Like, at different events around here and, with other founders. And it
Absolutely.
just became like, I just realized like, we need to record, like this needs to be recorded, this needs to be put out. And, like what you were saying, some of the other ideas about where this could go. So we're just
Right.
starting with like conversations and interviews, but what were your thoughts on like how we could make this into even a larger brand?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, talking to these founders of these smaller businesses, I think like that is, and we've talked about this, Nick, like it's such a huge learning opportunity because you talk to these folks and they're going through like the same struggles that you would go through, and you're kind of seeing, you're not talking about Jeff Bezos or Richard Branson. You're seeing the real struggles and what you'll have to deal with and your challenges, and I'm hoping, and we're hoping, that there'll be some learning opportunities there, and kind of off that, people can not make the same mistakes that some of these other folks are making. So
My biggest problem is I can watch an interview with Elon Musk or someone, and he's had a crazy history for sure. Like there's he's almost gone broke like 2 or 3 times.
Right. Yeah.
But I can't relate to him. Right?
Yeah.
Like his issues and his challenges, I can't relate.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like I look at him, and here's this just brilliant person who it's really tough for me to relate to at this point, But we can, me and you've created your startup.
Yeah.
And, I've had a startup before. Those people who are just starting, and you're eating spaghetti every day. You're
Ramen, actually.
Ramen, yeah, and you're barely making it. And just coming up with capital, coming up with people, investors to talk to, those are the things like, oh, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
As opposed to Elon Musk, with a battery powered car, so.
And I think part of the inherent value in Founders Raw is like we're getting people in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Elon Musk, that was years ago.
Right.
And yeah, he still has challenges, but
Right.
It's like billion-dollar challenges
Right.
where we're talking about people that are in the moment, in the trenches.
Right.
Don't know how they're going to pay rent, don't know how they're going to make payroll.
Right.
It's those type of things like failed raising funds, that sort of thing. And I think that there's a ton of wisdom from people that are going through it or have just gone through it.
Yeah.
That there's thousands of stories that haven't been told, right?
Yeah, a lot of these, where we are today, incubator, there's value in being in like a community, as you know, and us having this sort of like video learning platform interviews that you're going to be doing, we can all connect and we can all give each other advice because, me and you getting together on this, like I have weaknesses, you have strengths in those same areas.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping, and I think we're hoping that through these interviews, entertaining people, that we can also kind of build together and have a better chance for those sort of younger startups to be successful.
And I know we've chatted about this a little bit in terms of the direction, but if this starts to take off and we start seeing some results from it, where do you see this going in 6 months, a year, 2 years? What do you envision?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And we've talked about this we've had our side conversations. I can see it, first of all, us having the conversations at different stages of the people that are We're interviewing. We're going to have the early startup, like the person that's like their first go around, and then we'll have people that are maybe a little more successful, like have raised $10, $15 million, and maybe what are their current struggles? Like what are they really doing right now? And then, you know, just figuring out a way for people to learn from the platform, and you know, maybe going to people's companies and getting to know them. And,
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I see it going. I mean, what do you envision?
I mean, I definitely see a great resource for early stage, you know, first-time entrepreneurs, and even, you know, people that have done this before.
Yeah.
To you know, find nuggets of wisdom and hear from people that are just in the trenches and at that moment.
Absolutely.
But secondly, I think it has the opportunity to be a great platform to open up other channels of information, whether it's written articles, whether it is materials, in terms of you know, information and materials for when you are starting out. You know, I do think that there's a lot on the web. There's a lot of stuff out there, but at the same time, I don't know if there's necessarily like a one resource that can become the default platform to go to not only like hear stories of founding another, like founders telling their stories, but secondly, you know, ways like, you know, kind of steps like 1, 2, 3. Here's what you need to go do. Here's some information. Like, you know, we can go get an MBA, but that does not teach you how to start a company. So,
and we're seeing that. I mean, part of this, and hopefully where we can take this to, but you're already seeing people realizing after they get their undergraduate, or even sometimes before, like, I can learn a lot more being a part of an organization or starting my own thing.
Yeah.
And there's so many tools now for learning, e-learning. I think that's brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. To one stop to say, I want to start a business, whether you're a bit experienced or not, and I can be entertained with some cool stories and see like a step-by-step way to not make the same mistakes that we've all made, you know, already starting our own business.